A weekend stealth visit to the movies. I started reading Paddington when I was a child in the 1960s and I've never entirely stopped. Even now, I occasionally treat myself to one of his adventures when in need of comfort reading, and marmalade sandwiches have been a part of my diet for more than 50 years. But my wife and I did feel self-conscious standing in the queue for Paddington 2 when we realized that, as we had suspected, all the other people waiting were families with small children. We toyed with a couple of options. One was pretending we had accidentally got into the wrong queue and were expecting to see film Stars Don't Die in Liverpool. The other was to talk loudly about our non-existent grandchildren. In the end we settled for brazening it out and giving Paddington death stares to any children who looked at us too quizzically. I am glad we did, because the film was a delight from start to finish. It also turned out there was an unexpected advantage to going to a cinema packed with 5-year-olds. Almost all the kids were so small their heads didn't show above their seats, and for the first time in ages I had an entirely uninterrupted view of the screen. From this week, Eurotunnel has been renamed Gatwick to mark the group's passage into an exciting new era for mobility infrastructures post-Brexit. This isn't, as you might think, a piece of jingoism to expunge the word Euro from as many words in the English language as possible before March 2019. Since the company that owns Eurotunnel is French. Rather, it is a spectacularly misjudged piece of corporate rebranding. Presumably orchestrated by the PR company, Perfect Curve. Eurotunnel, or Gatwick as we should now call it, was worried people might think it only shuttled cars between France and England and would remain unaware that it also offered a bespoke service for lorries. Talk about missing the point. The whole reason most people might not know of the lorry option is because they don't drive lorries and don't have to worry about freight transport. I am equally certain that all haulage companies are clued up on all their freight options. So, in the effort to get car owners to think more about lorries, Gatwick have trashed a well-known brand for one that will be forgotten within months. Never one not to focus on the big picture. The thing that struck me most from all the coverage of the Queen and Prince Philip's 70th wedding anniversary was just how many medals the Duke of Edinburgh has got. My father, who would have been the same age as Prince Philip were he still alive and, like him, served in the Navy throughout the Second World War, ended up with just 8, a Distinguished Service Cross, 6 campaign medals and a Victory Medal. Prince Philip, though, has somehow ended up with 17 medals, nearly as many as a leader of a failed state, and only about 7 of which related to his time in the Navy. While you might wonder what the Duke had done to deserve 2 medals for services to New Zealand, the most curious awards are those to mark the Queen's silver, golden and diamond jubilees. If I had chosen to commemorate various landmarks, such as my 25th wedding anniversary, in my marriage with my own medal ceremony, I think my wife might have had some sharp words to say.